Jed Hildebrand became the first member of the Sukjai tribe, kicked off Survivor Thailand after irritating the other teammates with his, oh, shall we say, laid-back approach.
That's not what you said earlier.
Okay, I said lazy, whatever. Leave me alone. I already confessed to Jed. I'm like, okay, we've been calling you lazy all morning.
Jed said
laid back.
He's got something for you.
I know, exactly. Good morning. Welcome to the early show. I'm Julie Chen.
And I'm Russ Mitchell. Jed, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened? What was your downfall?
I think it was the separation of shelter and food and water. The priorities were different, and so they segmented the tribe in between a group that was trying to do food and water and a group that thought shelter was important.
Yeah. How would you describe your strategy?
My strategy was to keep everyone strong and healthy.
Especially you. That's why you didn't help build the shed.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
Especially for immunity challenges. Everyone was complaining by 6th day that they were starving, and if you're starving, you can't produce on the challenges. But luckily, me and Rob and Stephanie were still eating and still drinking water, and so we were able to succeed on challenges.
Maybe you can get it out of him later.
Yeah. Jed Hildebrand is a dental student from Dallas, Baylor to be exact. Jed, good morning to you.
Good morning to you, Julie.
Anything you could have done to prevent being voted off?
Well, looking back, you can always say, I should have done this, I should have done that. And
what's on that list?
Well, definitely just hanging out and sitting in the fort and trying to build the fort. But where would that have led us in challenges if we would have got hungry and couldn't have performed in like the Lotus Challenge or something like that? I mean, you go with your best thought, and you do that and no regrets.
But even if it makes you an outcast?
Well, during the time when we had me, Rob, and Stephanie living together basically on the beach and trying to provide food and water for everyone while everyone was sitting in the fort, making more leaves and more roof and everything, and we were feeding them to do that so we could keep the team healthy. You
didn't help build the fort. You didn't sleep under it very much, if at all, to my recollection. Is it because you felt guilty? No, because the bamboo, you couldn't get a good night's sleep. It was like sleeping on bumpy concrete or sleeping on sand, which is super comfortable. It forms to your body, and it was really nice. And basically, the first 3 days, we all built the shelter. And then I decided that we needed food and water, and the rain would keep out the floor if we slept underneath. You know, this vote really could have gone either way. Whose vote did you not expect? You essentially got everyone's vote except for your little clique, your own, Stephanie, and Rob, right? Yes. Were you surprised everyone else basically voted? Well, no, because beforehand, I mean, you talk to people about who they're going to vote for and who they're not, and I mean, I was pretty sure when people told me who they were voting for that they were going to follow through. But when it comes around to people voting, I guess you can have your own strategy. You know what we haven't seen yet in either tribe, but talk about your tribe. Were there alliances on that island? I mean, when you were there? I mean, there's alliances. I mean, actual conversation about let's vote off so-and-so. Well, obviously, you talk about who you're going to vote and why you're going to vote for them, and you immerse amongst yourselves and just talk and talk. And I mean, there's chats of people's philosophy of strategy, and people with the same strategies will vote the same way. Last night's reward challenge was the first time in Survivor we've seen physical contact come into play. You were eliminated for knocking off someone from the other tribe. Supposedly you were in the zone, but I think we should look at the instant replay. I would love to look at it. Okay, let's take a look at this, because supposedly if you stepped into this zone on the bamboo sticks where it was like gold and black, then you can attack. Were you in that zone or were you not? Jeff Probst says you were not in the zone. Well, I mean, as I look back at the replay, you can't look down right when you're about to attack somebody, or else you'll get thrown in the water. But, I mean, we don't have instant replay out there, so we just got to go with the referee's judgment. I think it might have been that you made the lunge and maybe your hands made physical contact with the person before your foot. Yeah, I mean, it pretty much. Is it fair? It's a fair call. Oh, so, okay. Well, that's big of you. That's what the ref says, so you just got to go with it. What went wrong with the immunity challenge? You kicked into gear, you took a leadership role. Well, at the end, I realized when you have Ken, one of our biggest men, sitting out immunity challenge, I knew something was amiss, so I knew someone had to take control.
I basically overthought it. I thought you should go to number 2 and build it up and then go to number 3. So we had it built on number 2, and then we looked and we had to rebuild it on number 3. And by that time, it was me, Rob, and Stephanie doing pretty much all the work, and we were just drained. And everyone else was just sitting around, and so it was tough. I mean, it's like you're fighting against your own team when they're trying to throw a challenge.
We've got a lot more questions for you, Jed. The rest of the gang is going to jump in. We want to know about how divided your tribe was. We're back with more of Jed right after these messages. It is time to bring back an early show tradition, the dreaded Survivor scorecard.
It's wicked.
Jed's like, no. It's our weekly
Big X.
update. Yep. It's our weekly update of the castaways still in the hunt for the $1 million prize. Last night, in their first trip to the Tribal Council, Stephanie, Shion, Rob, Penny, Ken, Aaron, and Jake sent their Sukjai tribe mate Jed packing. So,
That hurts,
you
right,
get the
Jed?
X.
That feels bad.
We didn't put the buzzer in.
That's okay.
Well, I just did it. I'm going to let the gang loose on you to ask.
Well, I want to know, your tribe was clearly a tribe divided. When did that become apparent to you?
I think after the 3rd day, we had finished the floor, and then everyone decided, hey, let's build walls, let's build a roof. And a few of us were like, we're really hungry, finally. We need food and water, or else we're not going to survive. And other people said, no, I'm worried about the rain, I'm worried about this and that.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you brought that up because you were on net patrol, which is supposed to help you get the food, the fish, when it got lost.
I know, it's interesting because the first like 3 hours, me and Rob were watching the net, and everyone was sitting in the hut. And then after a while, you're just like, finally someone relieved us. And so we had Jake and Penny sit out there and watch the net, and Jake rode out and checked it out, and we went to bed because we were just exhausted. And I woke up and everyone is sleeping around us. I'm like, wait a second, what happened?
How did it get blamed on you?
Yeah.
I think because me and Rob took it out, and so I guess if you take something out, you got to bring it back.
It's like a library book.
Yeah, it's. I mean, pretty much, you're not going to blame your best friend for doing something wrong. You're going to find, someone else. But I mean, the whole tribe should take the fall, and I mean, so I take the responsibility. I mean, I should have gone and tried to find it.